Hello everyone, welcome to my podcast. First, let me introduce myself. I'm Kobaha. I'm an intuitive spiritual facilitator and crystal therapist. I live in northern Arizona. You can find information about my sacred work on my Facebook page and YouTube channel at Mystic Dragonfly Whispers. On today's episode, I'm going to talk about the power of listening. Listening is the other half of the communication equation. We speak while others listen, and we listen while others speak. Listening is the foundation of all effective conscious communication. When we do not listen, messages are easily misunderstood, and as a result, the speaker can easily become frustrated or irritated. Although we may not always perceive it, there is a difference between hearing and listening. The former is a function, the latter a skill. We hear many different sounds. Hearing is much easier than listening because hearing is an involuntary physical ability involving the ears. No conscious effort is required. As one of the five senses, hearing happens all the time and is the involuntary receiving of sound, vibrations, or waves through our ears. On the other hand, listening is an active process and uses the senses of hearing, seeing, or sense of touch. It's a skill that requires letting the sound go through our brain, understanding what has been heard, and processing its meaning. As a listener, we choose what we want to hear and understand the information with both our mind and body. Although our ears, according to their different capabilities, may always be hearing, there is another level of consciousness and connection that comes into play when we listen. For instance, as an example, you can hear I have an accent, but it hasn't stopped you listening to what I had to say about the subject of listening. I hope. Contrary to general belief, most bilinguals have an accent in one of their languages. From one person to another, foreign accents are perceived in different ways. That is, the impression they make on us. I believe it's down to how we are willing to listen to someone who speaks a language with an accent. Are we open-minded or closed-minded? Do we discriminate against speakers with foreign accents? Open-minded people will have a non-judgmental attitude. They would show curiosity and they would embrace differences. In a similar situation, closed-minded people would shut down. Imagine a world in which everyone speaks the same language, a world in which every person has the same accent, the same tone, and the same vocabulary. Sounds incredibly boring, right? Getting rid of an accent is a common goal for language learners around the world. I personally have come to love and value my accent and others. Mine is a mix of French and English, due to the fact I'm French and I lived in England for 28 years. Accents are a part of us. They help tell our story. They tell a story about where we are from, what part of the world we have lived in, and the different cultures that create our history. Accents are beautiful. They are real. They are a part of our identity. In an increasingly busy and divided world, there are concerns that many of us may be losing our ability to listen. There is another effect of all of this. Not only it is difficult to listen, but it's also difficult to be heard. Faced with this fact, individuals resort to focusing their efforts even more on their own broadcasting, shouting their own ideas, arguments, views, and opinions. Or one person is speaking and the other person is already working on a response in their head rather than listening wholeheartedly. I'm sometimes guilty of that too. Listening is so much more than hearing. It's what happens when we not only open our ears, but also open our minds and sometimes our hearts to another person. Listening to others and listening well is important for our personal development because it allows us to expand our horizon. We sometimes don't learn things from what we have to say, but from what others have to say, which each have a world of our own, filled with our thoughts, ideas, opinions, values, experiences, and perspectives. Collectively, these make up our horizon. One of the best ways to expand that horizon is to expose ourselves to other thoughts, ideas, opinions, values, experiences, and perspectives. We do this by opening our ears and minds to them. We do this by listening, paying a person respect. With your intention doesn't mean accepting everything another person says. Only by listening, first are we in a good position to know if we have been given a gift or something never to be a part of our thinking or our lives. Isn't it amazing that we are all unique? I personally think that diversity is beautiful. That's a shame that humans think that diversity is losing their identity as individuals. Diversity goes beyond just appearance. It includes other facets of us, such as how we think, live our lives, and express our thoughts. I realize that not everyone feels the same as I do. They live in social bubbles where they are not exposed to or encouraged to mingle with other races and cultures. In some cases, people subscribe to extreme and polarized belief systems that lead to suspicion and fear of anyone who is different. When we give our attention to other people and try to understand them, we are treating them as people with something potentially valuable to say. In this way, we acknowledge that the individual before us, whose experiences and perspectives are different from our own, may be giving us something of a gift. Listening well is how we set ourselves up to accept that gift, with the full understanding that our own world is limited and that the speaker may be able to expand our horizon and improve our understanding of the world around us. When we listen to another, we allow ourselves to reflect, learn, and grow as we work to make more informed choices in our own life. Listening ultimately helps to create a world in which individuals, while still holding their own thoughts, can be less inward-facing, kinder, more empathic, and more aware. Instead of trying to aggressively dominate the other person with our opinion and dismiss their opinion in the process, it's best to try to understand their opinion and perspective on the matter. We don't grow and evolve by arguing with others. We grow and evolve by gaining new insights, opinions, and perspectives. I would like to take this opportunity to thank you for listening and being open-minded to new insights and perspectives. Until next time, bye for now.